Do I need a moderator? Anywho, that's coming later, right? You got to take it one baby step at a time. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday morning. I am Stacy, Lynn Stacy, and this is my Sunday morning at 11 o'clock show for midlifers or anybody else, but particularly midlifers. And so I am bringing to you some experiences that I have had over the years and that I'm aware of that other people have had, and some other knowledge that I have gleaned through many years of self-help, professional help, and being a mom, a grandma, a wife. Yeah. So anyway, that's what this channel is about. I welcome you. We are a faith-based channel. So understand that. I'm coming from a biblical perspective. If that bothers you, this may not be the show for you, but if you want to stick around and maybe you'll learn something today, I don't know. Because we all have a midlife regardless of how we're going through it, right? If we live long enough. And hopefully you will live long enough to look back over your midlife. That's my goal anyway. I have something to tell you though. So again, being a show that comes on Sunday mornings, let me say this to you. Deep breaths. No more ums. You know, that's hard not to do. Try to have a conversation without saying Okay, not that simple. However, let me tell you. So the reason I have this Sunday show is because Sunday is the first day of the week, right? Go to your calendar, look and see. Sunday is actually the first day of the week. So So that's why I'm doing it, because it's easy for me, because I'm used to being up and early on Sunday morning, because that's when I used to typically go to church with my family. However, I have now come to the conclusion that Sunday is the day that we are to, I was so prepared earlier. Okay, here we go. We are on Sunday is the first day of the work week, right? So that's why I'm at work on a Sunday morning. So if you're a born again believer and you joined me this morning, thank you. And if you're watching the replay, thank you. But let me say this. So this is what I saw on YouTube. Okay, here we go. On YouTube, I watch TMZ because I'm nosy like that. And so I was watching this show, TMZ, the other morning or midday, and this came up. It was some celebrity's dog got unalived by somebody's dog got unalived by a celebrity. And so TMZ was covering it. And listen, you guys. Listen, because I always say the trickery is real, right? My famous, not so famous, but I want it to be famous statement is, where's the lie? Bullseye, with the bullseye figure. But yes, because we have to be uber discerning in these times. Why? Because these times are very deceptive. I don't know if you notice it or not, but lots of stuff is happening. So you got to hear this. See if you pick it up. Okay, listen, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna try to do this. Last time I did this, it fell out of my hand or whatever. Anyway, going live has got to change.
Waiting to take the dog. That's correct. We've learned that the dog named Sunday, like the seventh day of the week, 11-year-old lab, unfortunately did die, had to be euthanized.
The seventh day of the week is not Sunday. No, this is getting serious. They're trying to throw it down your throat.
Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that? He said the dog's name was Sunday, and he said Sunday is the first day of the week. Where on this planet is Sunday the first day of the week? I mean, the seventh day of the week. Nobody says Sunday is the seventh day of the week, because it's not. It's the first day of the week. You don't believe me? Walk over to your calendar when we get off this live, and you will see that. So that's what I'm saying. The trickery is real. Today is the first day of the work week, and I'm at work. And thank you for joining me. Thank you for the hearts. Oh, thank you, everybody. Oh, this makes me so happy to see you here. Okay, so now we're going to get serious, okay? So the purpose of my channel is to like I said, to help you navigate midlife. Midlife starts in your 40s. Can be earlier, can be 35. It just depends, I guess, how mature you are too, and how you begin to go into your life, your midlife, right? Meaning you start taking on responsibilities. You got a car note, a house note, some kids, a husband, a wife, blah blah blah. So that's when you're in your midlife. You're in that season of life where you have to be serious. You have to put when a child acts as a child. When you're an adult, you do adult stuff. So we're adulting over here, whether we like it or not. We're adulting. But we can adult well, right? You don't have to have problems that somebody else had because you're learning from their mistakes or from their triumphs, right? So that's why I love reading biographies and autobiographies, because I really want to see how other people navigated their lives so I can eat the meat and throw away the bones, right? Do what's right. Excuse me, I talk a little fast because I'm nervous. So when I start slowing down, you guys will know I'm relaxed. Okay, so let's get started. So I've been going through a lot, and I mentioned that previously. I'm on the home stretch. The things I were going through are starting to level out, because that's life, right? Life is like this, up, down, and all around. So it's what you make it. That's what Mama always said. Life is what you make it, right? Now, however, we know that life be lifing and the stuff shows up, but that's part of being prepared. That's part of saying, I got this. Telling your significant other, we got this, baby, right? We got this. Because why? Because we did what? We are prepared. We prepared for a rainy day. We prepared for life to show up. We prepared for one of us to get sick. We prepared for one of us to lose a job. We prepared for life to show up, right? So this is what I want to talk to you about. And it's a boring subject, but I had to do it. I got a grant, and part of the grant, they wanted me to do a budget. So I did. A budgeting seminar or class, what do you want to call it? Okay, it was only 30 minutes. I'm not going to go through the whole class because this show is only 30 minutes, by the way. Part of the reason why I talk fast, I guess, to make sure that we get it all in, if we can, okay? Because I respect your time. So listen, having been a mother of 3, now adult children, I was a single head of household. I didn't raise my children singularly because I picked pretty decent guys. They just weren't decent to me. They were just to the kids. So anyway, they were good to their kids. So I had, but being in a household where there was not 2 incomes coming in other than the child support, which was very helpful, I had to maintain the household in the manner in which I felt was most efficient, right? And budget friendly. So this is what I want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about, do you have a budget? Corporations have budgets. The White House has a budget, I think. I don't know if they're doing with that budget. But anyway, okay. So we have to have a budget. Can you let me know below if you have a budget? Because I love you guys. You're so sweet. Okay. If you have a budget, can you let us know you have a budget? And if you have software that you use for your budget, can you share that? Because let me tell you something. If you have a budget, you can actually have more a sense of financial freedom, because you know, this is what I have to do every single month without fail. This is the amount of money I have to bring into my house to cover the things that I have decided I wanted or needed, right? So if I decide I want a Maserati, I got to have Maserati budget, right? If I want a Hyundai, I got to have a Hyundai budget. You have to budget. If you've never had a budget, what you been doing with your life? You gotta have a budget. And let me tell you, so I'm gonna give you some quick tips on how to have a budget that I learned, okay? So we're not gonna be 30 minutes, we're probably gonna be more like fast as I talk, probably 10 minutes, okay? Because I got a little bit more for you after that too. All right, so here's what you do. So you have to make room in your budget for the things that you desire. So we'll get back to that. So that was the first thing that I noted when I was talking to this budget planner. So anywho, she was talking about, she sent me a spreadsheet, by the way. And if you want a copy of this spreadsheet, DM me on my Instagram channel. It's Stacy_Stacy 247, because I'm the same 247. At least I try to be consistent. So anyway, DM me at Stacy underscore Stacy, Stacey underscore Stacy 247 on Instagram, and I'll send you a copy of this budget she sent me, because it's in a spreadsheet that you can you can enable editing in it, so you can put your numbers in the budget. The way I'm set up, I couldn't show you actually on the screen, but probably most of you are more tech savvy than me, so you know how to do an Excel spreadsheet. But if you don't, and you want one specifically for budgeting, do that and I'll get it to you. Okay, so listen up. So you have to have an actual columns. And then you want to put everything that you spend. Don't leave anything out. If you spend it on a regular basis, put that in your budget. So laundry, dog walking, dog grooming, dog cleaning. Dog grooming is dog cleaning, isn't it? Rent, car note, car insurance, life insurance, investments, discretionary spending, you name it. If you think it's something to add, put it in the chat. But so you have to have a budget that outlines every month what's going out the door. Without fail, it's going out the door. And then remember, if you make $100,000 a year, what percentage of that is Uncle Sam taking? Or if you're overseas, we all pay taxes. I don't know anybody that doesn't pay taxes, right? If you're alive somewhere, you're probably paying some taxes, right? And by another tip, in America, if you don't pay your taxes for 3 years, I just thought about this. If you don't pay your taxes by the 3rd year, our government considers that tax evasion. So you have 2 years in which to catch up on your taxes. But by the 3rd year, you better have those babies paid or apply for some type of request to reduce your taxes. Yes, offer and compromise. That's called offer and compromise. So if you're on your back on your taxes, this is another midlife tip. Ask the government to give you an offer and compromise. Basically, you have to have a budget for that. You show them, look, this is my expenses. This is where I kind of overran my expenses, and therefore I need you to reduce my taxes, and the American government will oblige you in some instances. Okay, so listen. So there's that part, and I had thought to tell you, but it's kind of personal, so I'm gonna hold that. But anyway, so here's some other ways you can save. You can do your budget. This is the part that I really, really, really valued. Okay, in your budget, at the end of the month, around the 28th, 29th, go over your budget and see what you spent. Were you in line with your spending? Were you out of alignment with your spending? And can you make room in your budget? Meaning, are there certain things that you can dispense with because they're throwing your budget out of whack? So my whole thing is I want to have enough money to have some fun, right? My expenses, yes, got to pay them. Pay your bills. You made them, trade them, pay them. However, what is life without a little fun? A movie, a concert, dinner with a friend, dinner with your spouse, dinner with your kids, right? You have to have room in your budget for things that you want to do, that you desire to do. So here's what she taught me. I thought this is so good. So go through your budget and see where you can decrease spending. Okay. Now she said for somebody like me, I have grown children. So she says, you know what? Maybe one of your kids will let you put your cell phone bill, because right now I'm paying like not that much, but maybe one of your kids I'm on T-Mobile. So I was on Verizon, but the towers were whack over here. So I had to go with T-Mobile because the towers are better and I had better service. So I switched from 10 years of Verizon to about a year with T-Mobile because of the tower situation. So I miss Verizon, though, to be honest. However, but listen, so she suggested, well, maybe one of your family members, your children in particular, may be able to put you on their plan. So that would save that every month, right? I asked one kid, he didn't respond yet, but we'll see. I got 2 more to go. But anyway, that's what you can do. So if I took that out of my budget, so that amount of money, I can now move to either an investment line item, or I can do it for a recreational line item, or I can put this towards a new refrigerator that I want or need, or something like that, an appliance, like, something where that money that you just freed up in your budget, you can now use it for something that you need, something else that you may need, right? Isn't that a good tip? Yeah. So that's it. So she said, so find out. So, and then she also talked about if you're a mom and a dad and you've got kids, avail yourself to your county or state or city locality. They have free stuff, especially in the summer, because that's part of our tax dollars. You want to be able to just use those things to take your kids to the water park that's free. They put on, they turn on the little hoses or whatever in the parks, and let your kids run through the water on a hot day. They have movie night out, family night out at the movies. Pop your little popcorn and take your kids, put on a blanket and watch a movie. Oh, you want to hear something crazy though? When I was living in LA, this is so funny. I lived near Melrose Avenue. I was at Melrose in Lexington. And do you guys know about that? There is a cemetery over there where all the famous people are buried. Yeah, so one night I came out of my apartment to walk my dog, and I heard this beautiful music playing. And I was like, ooh, where is that music coming from? And I kept walking. It was the cemetery. That cemetery has movie nights and concerts. I cannot bring myself to go there for any of that though, but it was there. And guess who was singing? It was Chris Brown was introducing a new artist, and they were having the concert at this famous cemetery. I can't remember the name of that cemetery, but it's real famous where a lot of famous people were buried. And I was right around the corner. Anyway, but I thought that was kind of cute to tell y'all about. But yes, so I don't know if I take my kids to a cemetery to watch a concert, but I would take them to the 4th of July, fireworks, because I love fireworks, things like that. So one of the things you can put in to reduce and free up spending in your budget is to avail yourself to freebies. That's the moral of that story. So therefore you can go out and buy that, upgrade your phone or something. I don't know, but that's what you know what, listen, if we can't have like the desires of our heart met, then our heart will grow weary. So you have to account for that. You have to account for doing things that makes your heart sing. Yeah. So if my son is in retail heavy, and he says the customer's coming for retail therapy. So there is some retail therapy there. When you go out and you buy something and you think you're gonna look cute in it, and you probably are, and so you buy that, and it kind of gives you an adrenaline rush, or a I don't know what you call it, but anyway, it's called retail therapy. So put a line item in your budget for retail therapy. Like this month, I'm gonna spend $20 in my pocket and go to the thrift store. I love thrifting. But anyway, do you understand what I'm saying? Just have a workable budget. It will reduce your stress so much. I guarantee you, or your money back, that you will have a budget and you will have a happy life, because look, this month can't do it this month, but let me look at my budget. Okay, so let me move some things around so that I can take my family to this whatever it is that I just found out about, like a party. Somebody sends you an invitation to a party and you want to take a gift. You look at your budget and say, you know what? Okay, guys, I can afford to pay $20 towards a gift, or $100 or $500. But next month you won't be like, oh, I'm $500 short. Why did I spend that $500? I didn't have it. Because if you have a budget, you stay within your budget, you make room in your budget for things that you desire, want, or need. Isn't that fabulous? That was my biggest takeaway from my training the other day. Let me see what else. That's pretty much what I took out of it. I think you would like. Yeah, that I think makes sense, right? So I don't know if you liked any of those tips. Let me know which one was your favorite tip. And again, if you want an Excel spreadsheet that you can adjust, DM me on my Instagram page, Stacy_Stacy247. Okay. Now, I enjoyed telling you guys that, and I hope you enjoyed listening to it. But now I want to talk about something that happened in my neck of the woods. And it's probably now getting national attention. There's two things that are very concerning to me. So can we get a little serious for the last 10 minutes? So there was a dentist and her husband in Virginia who were going through a divorce, and they decided to War of the Roses but it didn't end so well. So they decided to go through a divorce together while still living in the same household. So I don't think that the wife knew or understood the extent of how damaged her husband was. I don't think she understood how dangerous the situation she was in. I think she was an intelligent woman. She's a dentist with thriving dental practice. He was lieutenant governor to Governor Northam, and so he was successful. I think he used to be the attorney general at some point, and because of an infidelity, he lost everything, his reputation, his career, and now his life. Okay, so him and his wife were trying to, I guess, resolve the financial piece, and at some point she said his drinking was really heavy and she decided he had to go. So he was served some paperwork. Don't know what it was quite yet, but he was served some paperwork that basically said, I guess he had to move out. Now, they've been together. They have teenage children, and they had been together since Duke University, where they attended college. So they were bonded. They were clearly very bonded in a lot of ways. And so, but when he got served the paperwork, is my understanding, take on it. He lost it. He lost his mind, and he snapped. And as a consequence, he unalived his wife and himself, and their 2 teenage children were at home at the time. So this man who had the world in his hands destroyed everything because of his weaknesses, right? We all have weaknesses. So, so that story is trending now probably worldwide because, we always think it's going to happen to somebody else. It could happen to somebody else. Yeah, that's true. And we hope and pray that that level of darkness never darkens our doorstep. But the reality of it is that it could affect us or someone we love. Domestic violence has no race. It has no ethnicity. It has no economic status, I guess. Domestic violence is real. And it often happens when the financial part of the household is off, right? So we'll segue into that in that regard. When money gets funny, ain't nothing funny, really. So his money got funny. He lost his everything that he had built. He lost. She's still building, right? She's a dentist. She's got her practice. She's thriving. They have this beautiful home, 2 beautiful children. And okay, he took them out. Sadly, his son found his mom. Prayers up for that family. Then we have another young lady, Ashley Robinson. Ashley, I don't know if you know, was found over in Tanzania, Zanzibar. She was on a trip with her man who became her fiance, and somehow she mysteriously was unalive. So I just want to say this because I'm going to be transparent. And thank you for the hearts and the kisses because I need them right now when I tell you this. I am a domestic violence thriver. Did you hear that? I had first had to survive. Okay? So I went from surviving domestic violence to thriving. Okay? And let me tell you how that happened for me, because I got help. I got help. And I talked to the right people, apparently. And other women who were experiencing the same thing, that was going through it with someone they love. Because you know what my mama said? Mama June, here she come. She always said, love carefully, because you can't like choose if you fall in love with somebody. It happens. You don't say, I'm gonna fall in love with you today. That ain't how it works. Over time, you get to know the person, you like the person, they like you, the kisses are sweet. And before you know it, you're I do. And the next thing you know, I don't. So, yeah. So you have to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. But it takes a lot. I had a counselor tell me one time I was kind of a unique person in that I got out. I got out. But I didn't make just one mistake getting into a domestic violence situation. I made multiple mistakes getting into those types of relationships. But through a lot of work on myself, understanding is mellow, I understood how I found myself in relationships that weren't serving me. Not totally. I mean, I was getting something out of it because I was there. Hello? We don't just walk into something because we don't want to be there unless we have to. But relationships, you don't have to be in a relationship. You choose. So I had to look in the mirror, that old mirror, and say, hey, lady, what you doing? Why you doing it? When you gonna give it up? Because it ain't working. And how you gonna give it up? So those are questions that you ask yourself. You're in a relationship, examine it. Examine why you're in it. Are you in it because this person makes you feel like butterflies in your tummy? Or because they supply your needs, because you're not independent? Are they just fine as heck? And you like looking at them all the time? I don't know why you pick who you pick, but sometimes you have to unpick them. And if your picker's broke, my picker's healing. Let's say it that way. My picker's I think it's getting better. Time will tell. So I say that to say, deep breaths, y'all. Come on, let's just take a deep breath. Take a few. I know that seems a little strange, but I had to teach myself that. 5 or 6. Okay, let that air out. Waiting to Exhale. I love that movie. So if you find yourself in a relationship that's not panning out, don't hold on to it. Saints, I have not read one scripture that said, keep getting your butt beat and don't go nowhere. Show me that in the Bible. Keep getting your butt beat and stay, because your marriage vows are everything. You committed before God to stay with this person. He's hitting my children. He's not bringing in the bacon. I'm doing all the work. Hello? There's the door. Somebody got to walk out of it. And if it's you, I'm going to tell you this. The most dangerous time to leave a nut is when you leave the nut. They begin to fall into this desperate mode, and they're clinging and they're trying, they got this, I love you, baby. Love is an action word. Love is kind, right? There's a whole biblical definition of love. If they ain't meeting them, if they're not hitting them things, that's not love. That's bondage. That's bondage, right? Who wants to be in bondage? Nobody. And guess what? You're not required to be in bondage. Not at all. You ain't required to stick around and stay around. No, it's a choice. So the most dangerous time you decide to leave someone who's been abusing you, and we're out of time, y'all. I'm gonna say this real quick. That's the most dangerous time. So get professional help, get a plan, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. That plan is your plan. You can tell it to a very close person that you trust implicitly, but best to tell it to somebody, a professional, so y'all can work this out. And strategic, be very strategic. Ladies, if you're depending on a man for money, start stacking your money slowly. Stack your money slowly. Because trust me, it's hard when you got two incomes coming in, you go down to one. That's why a lot of women stay, particularly, the older generation. It's like, what am I going to do without him? You know what? You're going to survive. And then eventually you'll move into thriving and you'll be happy. Trust me, you'll find your happy place. But you got to get out of that dark place first, right? So any hooty woody, enough about that. I've extended my time by a minute. But can I tell you one more thing? A victory. Y'all. I'm sorry. I make that noise. I have been using a flipper. Not a flipper. I'm sorry. I've been using a fake tooth over here because when I smile big, because the tooth is missing right there. I heard it was hormonal. There's a hole back there. And so when I film, you can see it. You can see like that dark hole back there. So I've been struggling with this because I want to get an implant ultimately. And if the channel is a success, I guess I could do that. But yes, so I've been making a tooth, putting it in there. But I just found out I can get a flipper. Yeah, I got a flipper coming. It's ready. So I'm going to pick it up. And so the flipper, it takes some getting used to as well. But the flipper will fill that gap. And it looks like my regular teeth. So I don't have to worry about getting this thing out of your mouth. Especially when you make them too big. Oh my God, I had to drink very hot water to soften it. Because, I'll show you what it is. I'm not trying to advertise with these people. But if you got to do what you got to do. A girl got to do what a girl got to do when a girl got to do it. Okay, so it's this. So look. There are these little beads. This is so funny. There's these little beads. And it looks like this when they melt. And then they turn clear. And then you insert them in your mouth. And then you see their little beads. Can you see those beads? Anyway, you have to put them in your mouth and form it once it softens. So that's what I've been doing to make myself look a little more presentable to y'all. But anyway, that's the end of that. Hey, if you want me to send you this, DM me. I'll send it to you. Because I don't need it no more. I got my flipper. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Will you come back next week and bring a friend? Please. And then like, subscribe, and most importantly, be happy. And I hope I did something to make you happy today. Hope I said something that was meaningful. I overwent my time by a couple minutes. My bad. All right. See you next Sunday, 11 o'clock. Same time, same station. And what is today? Today is Sunday. What does that mean? It's the first day of the week. Have a great week. Bye-bye.